everybody to the V3 podcast. My name is Nathan Villins, and going down the line we have
Rachel V.
LV.
Big Momma Trahma.
Thank you very much. Our special guest in the studio today, Big Momma Trahma.
Growing up in the circus, where it looks all fun on the surface, but I got a lot of trauma, get it? Drama, maybe that's why I get nervous.
First, I'm going to get into some announcements. The UGLY tour has kicked off already at the time of you seeing this, so we already did our September 6th show at the Elder Hookah Lounge. The next one, depending on when you're watching this podcast, is going to be September 13th, which probably has already passed. And then on September 20th, we'll be at Cilantro's Bar. On September 27th, it's going to be in Globe at Jammer's Bar. Glendale on October 5th at Jabbar's Hookah Lounge. Prescott, October 12th at Tony's 2. And our homecoming show is on October 18th at Thunder Canyon Brewery, which is going to be in Tucson, Arizona. So fucking check that out.
Gang.
So, anybody else with the announcements?
My show dates. I actually have those. Oh well, September 14th is probably going to be passed by then. But that is Thunder Canyon Brewery. And
Thunder
then
Canyon
the Tucson
Brewery.
Hip Hop Unity Barbecue, September 21st. Gang. And then October, I will be doing. Is that October? No, it's November. I will be playing at the Alazul Ilu show.
That's
I can't
AXE.
say their name right.
AXE.
It's AXE.
And that will be November 15th at
November
House of
15th.
Bards. November 15th at House of Bards. And that's it.
Shit, yeah.
That's
And you, ma'am,
Yes, sir.
do you have any announcements?
Upcoming event.
Yeah, I'm about to drop the sickest music video I've ever fucking invested in. Shout out SD Visions, Love Rose.
What's up, honey?
Oh, that
What's
one
up?
that I saw the
Beezy,
pictures
Wig
of.
split.
What's up, Sonny
Oh, yeah.
Houston? What's
Shout
up,
out
G?
Beezy. Love you, Beezy.
Saw, dude. Shout out
dude.
Sonny, dude. Ha yeah.
Okay,
We just shouted at two people at the same time.
that's dope.
It's all
That's how
good.
you get it done, man. If there's four of you, why not?
Fucking two birds, one stone, right?
Dude,
Or four of them.
SBZ been on her bullshit. Sent me the sickest beat. Oh my
She
god.
is
I'm excited for
amazing.
that. That's my only announcement. Other than that, I'm still the same
She's
old fuck
really,
ass.
really good.
Fuck yeah, she is. I can't wait to work with her. So before we get too far into the podcast, I want to tell a story,
Okay.
and it's about
It's 45.
self-discovery.
Oh,
It is about spiritual enlightenment,
Those are the best.
and actually, it is about me taking a shit in the woods.
oh.
So, yeah. So we went to a birthday party. One of our friends' kids had a birthday party. He was turning 1. So I was there, and it was time to eat, and it was on the reservation.
It was up this like beautiful ass mountain. I want to go back.
What was it called? Kit Observatory.
Kit Peak.
Kit Peak
Observatory.
Observatory.
okay.
And we were having the traditional native meal, which is like chili and beans. You know, there was potato salad, and I was happy about that. So
That pea salad.
that pea salad, it had pickles in it. You know the deal. And so
It was good with pickles. I never had pickles and potato salad.
me with my sensitive European stomach halfway through the meal, I'm like, oh fuck. So I had to go to the bathroom, right? So I go to the bathroom and I realize there's no doors on the stalls at all. So I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna shoot for it. Hopefully no one comes in. I sit down and I hear the door open. And like I don't hear anything for a second but footsteps. And then it's this little kid, right? This little kid, and like he's already walking towards the stall. I'm like, I really hope this kid doesn't have to shit. And he's like, hello, but as he's saying hello, he fucking peeks his head around the stall, and I was like, what's up, dude? Like I'm all fucking trying to cover myself. And he's like, oh, you with the party? I was like, yeah, I'm with the party. And he's like, oh, okay. And he sits down and he goes, I really wish there were doors on these stalls. And I was like, you and me both, kid. And then a little time goes by, and then he goes, can you count to 10 in Spanish? I was like, I think so. And he's all, prove it. So I counted to 10 in Spanish, and he's all, oh, okay. And then he was like, you ever play Pac-Man? And he just keeps going. And I'm like, dude, yeah, I played Pac-Man. He's all, I beat every level. I got all the points.
A Pac-Man shirt
Yeah.
too. He was cute. He was funny.
And then like, I was gonna wait for him to leave so I could leave, but I felt like he was fucking waiting for me.
He was. You guys bonded at that point.
Yeah.
You shit with the
Talking
doors
about
open with that little
Pac-Man,
kid.
Counted to 10 in Spanish together.
And then on the way back to the party, he was all, you know what? When my sisters and my brothers don't finish their food, I finish it. I finish their plate.
That fucking kid is my spirit
I
animal.
love him.
Yeah, he was pretty dope. I mean, the invasion of privacy.
I know.
Self-discovery.
Marcy was all, they were walking back together, like, right next to each other. Marcy's like, oh, look, Nathan made a friend.
She had no idea.
Oh my god. To what extent?
While she watches this, she will.
Damn.
That's fucking great.
That was so funny.
Intimate. Deep. Existential.
Existential growth, right?
Existential growth.
So we already did it, but this week's guest obviously is Big Momma Trahma.
Yeah.
She's beloved by everyone who meets her.
And if you don't love her, something's probably wrong with
Yeah,
you.
she ain't the problem. It's you.
It's you. You
don't
are the
love me, you're
fucking
hating.
problem.
Because
Exactly.
everybody loves me, I'm just saying. No.
You're all true story.
No, it's true. It's like, if somebody meets you and they don't like you, it's like, what's your problem?
Mm-hmm.
You need some sage, bruh.
Stop it some more.
Let's go sage yourself.
Go sage your shelf. Your shelves, too.
Why do you think everybody loves Big Momma Trahma?
You got that personality. It's like,
You have really good, like, loving vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your energy is real light. Keep the vibes light. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's that shit, man.
People are they're like attracted to that shit, you know?
Yeah.
exactly.
You're
like
nurturing.
you have that obviously good, those good vibes out of there. People just,
Don't have.
I think it's a matter of intention. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like a lot of
exactly.
people, as soon as you meet them, a lot of people, as soon as you meet them, you can tell what their intentions are, even if it's on a subconscious level, I believe. And that's what makes like your hair stand on end with some people.
Well, yeah.
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 You just feel all like icky. You're like, I don't really know you, but.
And that's why if someone doesn't, I feel like if someone doesn't like you, they definitely got a problem because there's something inside of them that they're realizing they're not.
dealing with or like.
Yeah, like they can't match your
There's like a
your
disconnect
vibe. So
somewhere.
They're like probably, even if it's subconscious, they're like, fuck, I can't.
Stop.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop.
Like
I love it.
we what is our vibe attracts our tribe, so it's like they know they can't match
Our
that.
vibe attracts our tribe.
Our vibe attracts our tribe. So if they ain't on your level, they know they can't hang. Right?
Yeah.
I dig it. You dig?
Yeah. Yeah. And some
That
people
shovel.
like
Shovel.
it's harder to gauge where they're at. Some people could be your friend for years and then all of a sudden they just turn on you.
Yeah.
And like if you start to get successful and you start to hit all these accomplishments, they get selfish and they're like, well, what about us? Well, what about this? Instead of being like, hey, it's really cool that you went from being down here to being up here and we should
Red
celebrate.
flag.
Yeah, huge red flag.
Yeah, you need to cut those people out.
Indeedeth.
Cut him out.
Indubitably. Look at all of us fuck ass vapors.
I know.
Here.
We're so
We see it was like a train. I saw you.
We all
I
just
hit
thought
it.
about all
V
those
grabbed
toxic
it.
people and we're like,
We're in that
I'm gonna
awkward
inhale
age
some of
where
this
we're
vitamin
old,
E.
trying to be young still with these
Trendy.
vapes. Yep.
Hey guys,
Watch this cloud.
watch
Look what
me
I
do a
can do.
funnel.
You know that Vine where that chick blows that big ass cloud and that dude's all wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
wow.
I love that Vine. I miss Vines.
I know. R.I.P. Vine.
I know.
that
Now
a
it's
thing
like
anymore?
TikTok.
It's TikTok
No,
and it's whack as
hasn't been.
fuck, man.
TikTok, they have
like
some
TikTok.
good ones. They have.
I was just kidding.
It's like the new.
I'm
What,
only
I thought
like
it'd be a whack as fuck.
All ashamed.
TikTok is
But
dope.
fuck TikTok, honestly though.
it's,
I mean, fuck
I don't
it,
like
bro.
it
Fuck
because
TikTok.
a lot of these kids.
Whoa, look at that.
A lot of my damn. A lot
hate
of my
y'all.
students
Squirrel.
are talking about. I know that happened to us too. too many times last time. A lot of my students talk about, I have a TikTok account and I have this many followers. I'm like, you're like 9 and half of those are probably some weirdo.
Creepy, yeah. My little
So-
brother too. He had one and got all excited about his bajillion followers, and I'm like, no.
People on the
No.
internet be weird. You need to be
Weird
careful.
as shit.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, how's that meme go? They used to tell you not to talk to strangers on the internet and not to meet up with them alone. And now it's you order a stranger from the internet to take a car ride
Or
with
bring
alone.
food to your
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Or bring food to your house.
Bring me McDonald's.
Yeah.
So
Weird, huh?
it's weird.
It is weird. Total 180.
But it's cool because, I mean, being lazy, you take it to a whole new extreme. You don't even have to leave the house anymore.
You don't even have to talk to them motherfuckers.
No, it's all done via text
Just leave
now.
it at the front
It's
door.
turning into like Wall-E.
Just leave it at the
It is turning into like Wall-E, dude.
All those people are just like super fat in their chairs and they don't do anything.
Wall-E.
Oh, no.
Underrated Pixar film. I love Wall-E.
Yeah, it's one of the greats, I think. But nobody ever talks about it. Probably because it's sad. But you know what
It's
else
on
is
some real
sad?
shit,
It's
that's why.
fucking Up is sad. They should call
Up
that
is
movie
sad.
Down.
A lot of
that
like
movie
Disney
makes
and
me so
Pixar
sad.
movies. I was having that conversation with my students like about Bambi and Dumbo. I was like, why do we got to be watching their moms get killed and shit like that?
Because
don't know.
life,
Teach them
Seen
young, the
Bambi.
circle of life. Yeah,
life
all of
is
those
not the
movies
same without.
have...
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, you first.
Even Land Before Time. That's what started the
think it's
conversation.
trying
He's
to,
so
like,
mama, and I'm like, no.
Help
Life-
them like understand death and like deal with it. You know what I
That's
mean?
It isn't the same
And
without
that-
some unrequited childhood trauma, if you feel me.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that's very true because it's like you get to see throughout the movie that no, life didn't end when your mom died. Like they were able to continue and have a good life after that. So I guess yeah, but still it's sad.
It is.
If I want to watch a happy movie, I don't want to see.
But I think, like, you know, sometimes it's conditioning depending on what kind of material it is.
Yes, for sure.
Speaking of conditioning, how about MKUltra, guys?
I told you you don't want to have that conversation with me.
I told you that I did, Big Mama.
Why not?
I wholeheartedly believe in that shit.
Well, no, it's like
it's
it's
weird.
public knowledge now.
I mean, it's common knowledge that like it was created by the government and, you know, it was developed for like the Manchurian candidate fucking experiments and whatever, what have you. But I wholeheartedly believe that shit is widely used.
If you read the documents, like the whole disclosed, what do they call it? Anyway, they disclosed all the documents, and fucking if you read through it, what they thought Russia was doing was figuring out how to use mind control, and they wanted, because it was during the Cold War, they wanted to figure out a way to beat them to that. So what they did was they took candidates from like hospitals and prisons and even people in the military,
yeah.
and they dosed them with high amounts of psychedelics, ranging from like LSD to just a bunch of shit, you know what I mean? Mescaline, I think, was one of them that they used. And then they were trying to figure out how to completely shut them down and then bring them back, pretty much. You know what I mean? And if you look at all these mass shooting suspects, like Jared Loughner, a lot of them have that fucking glazed over look in their eyes.
Like they
They're
were a
just like-
patsy, yeah.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe in all that shit. All of it.
Oh yeah.
I think that the entire fucking world is run by like really old, sadistic, power hungry beings.
Aliens,
Weird fools who
Back
wear
to-
diapers.
Zeta reticulans and the reptilians.
Zeta reticulate reptilian.
Anunnaki.
The Anunnaki.
Anunnaki are supposed to be huge, though. Like, I think Joe Biden might be. Because he's like
I
two
think a
people
majority
dressed
of
up in a
them
big
are
suit.
The fucking Anunnaks.
The Anunnaki,
The Anunnaks.
The Anunnaks.
dude. Like today. So
bitches.
today is my anniversary when I went and met my favorite artist. We're not gonna say said artist because the Illuminati be out here. And we see
I know who
you.
you're talking about. Though.
You know who I'm fucking. Anybody who like knows
Knows
who
you.
I'm fucking talking about. And he told me, you know, so that same day I found out I won the contest for them to fly me out to New York to meet said artist, was the same day that somebody, the very first person, had contacted me and was like, I want to sign a music contract with you. And I was like, whoa.
I remember you telling me about
I was like, I don't know about that. Like, I just felt like the luckiest bitch in the world. Everybody was
You're
just...
like, let me deal with this first.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
I told him.
Demons.
I told said artist, I was like, I didn't know what to say because I don't want to go through what I've seen you suffer with the last couple years. And he looked at me so deep into my soul, and all he had to say was, it's a dark world. And I was like, confirmed. All my suspicions confirmed. Yeah. Fucking Illuminati confirmed.
Fucking Simon.
He had like no life in his eyes. It was crazy.
It's so sad.
And like just
You said the right words, and the brainwashing kicked in. He was like,
yeah, it triggered him. Yep. That the keeper word. Yeah, dude.
yeah.
It scared me. It wholeheartedly scared me, and that has always been. It's like I'll always say all the time, I don't want to be famous.
Man, undisclosed.
Scary.
I think, or no, declassified was the word I was looking for. It's a great fucking day for me to be forgetting all kinds of words.
You know,
When I
It
gotta
happens
talk
to the best of us.
just how it be.
for an hour and a half straight.
Cool.
Cool.
I'll bring a dictionary.
She has to talk for 8 hours straight to little kids. I don't know how you do it.
Like some days, just the stop talking. Like,
How do you
I'm
not let your gangster come out?
it's hard not to. Sometimes I do, and it's like just to check them real quick. I'm like, look, and they're like, okay, and then the other kids are all, ooh, roasted. I'm
She likes to rip chunks of hair out of their heads.
Oh my god.
He's saying this because I got a class fine last week for
From a class police officer that she assigned, by the way.
$10,000.
What?
Yeah, they ain't about to no bullshit out
Because
here.
I was talking when they were supposed to be working, and I was having a conversation, so I was off task, and then I pulled one of my students' hair. Me and this little girl, we have this thing where we like pull each other's hair. Not hard, but it's just silly playing around, and he saw me pull her hair, so he's like, boom, $10,000 fine. I'm like, I don't even, you know what? I am the leader of this classroom. This is my money. I don't gotta pay anything.
That's like the equivalent
You're
of
like, I
the
run
president
this shit.
being
You can't
arrested.
find me.
my little police officers. They can't. They're on there.
They're cute.
They're on top of it. But yeah, ripping little kid hair. He's all dramatic.
I like the hyperbole. It makes things funnier to me. I don't know. Like when I
get
trip and shit and I
arrested.
tell people about it, I fucking almost died.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, dude, me too. You gotta milk it up and exaggerate like hella.
Exactly. That's what makes it interesting.
Dave.
I forgot to take this out.
Dad.
Oh.
I was like, your name's Dave?
My
How
middle
have I
name
never
is.
known this? Oh, okay. That's something new.
David. It'd be weird if it was just Nathan Dave.
What if I started in
That's like the whitest name ever. Nathan Dave. Nathaniel Dave.
Dave Villins.
Ow.
What if I just started introducing myself as Dave
No, don't
to
do
people? What's up, guys? I'm Dave Villins.
it. No,
It's not
it
the
does
same.
not sound
Nah.
good. Don't do it.
I started calling myself
He's
Dave
like,
West.
fuck no.
Dave West.
Don't.
It's like Dave East.
Hey. That's a good one.
What?
Like Dave East, the rapper.
I don't know who that is.
Dave West. You're a dork.
Rita don't know who that is?
Mm-mm.
No. Do you guys know who William Cooper is?
No, I don't know who William Cooper is.
How
Do
about
you?
you? Did you?
Well, just from the video she had sent over.
Did you watch it?
Just a little bit of it.
It's long.
It's
huh?
really long. He gets into some shit
I'll be
though.
honest, I don't watch
Who
And
the
it's
fuck
really
is William
old.
Cooper?
He is an ex-naval intelligence officer who wrote a book called Behold a Pale Horse. And, he figured out, a bunch of secrets, I guess, that the government was hiding because, of course, naval intelligence. And he decided to disclose all of them.
They killed him,
They killed him. And it was in Arizona, actually.
Of course they did.
but he was trying to raise awareness and shit. He would do conferences where he talked about all that shit. He talked about the government and aliens and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
I haven't read the book.
Mainly, it was about aliens. What everything boiled down to was like the need for
It's like
control and
aliens
like
are
why
all
they're
connected into everything, basically.
yeah, why they're so adamant about making people who have seen UFOs or claim that they've been abducted seem absolutely ridiculous. That's a campaign.
Any and every human being that truly thinks that we're the only living species in an infinite universe.
It's ignorant.
Ignorant.
That's ignorant.
High key. Retarded. I'm gonna say it.
It's true. Like, there's
In the non-offensive, I mean,
Yeah, the non-offensive.
the non-offensive, we're
But
90s
it's like,
babies
I can't
retarded.
imagine like being in that mindset where it's like you're so like
Closed.
closed off to it's like now we're the only
Like-
ones. It's like you know how big this whole shit is. It's
You
like
narcissistic, egotistical
like-
bitch.
yeah.
That's like being, you know, in a tribe in the middle of nowhere and be like, we're the only humans. We're the only fucking humans. But at least at that point, you have the excuse that you don't have the knowledge that there's how big the world is. You know what I mean? But obviously, you can take a look around and be like, maybe there's like others that are like me.
People are just too wrapped up in me.
Yeah,
I
it's like
exist.
obviously they don't like study history or anything because
I
like all
know.
the hieroglyphics.
Hieroglyphics.
Can't say it. From different like cultures and stuff. You know what I mean? They all have it like in their caves or like the pyramids, whatever. You know, like
It's all the same,
all
yeah.
there.
I
And the
think.
gods that came from the heavens.
Well, it's crazy that you say that. I was actually just about to say I think a huge reason that people are so adamant about denying it is because in the Bible it says that God created us specifically in his image. You know what I mean? So if there was something else out there, we would then have to share that ideal with another civilization. And if they're that different, but they're higher intelligence, you know, then we have to call that into question.
One thing I learned when I took the mythology class in college is that yes, we may have been created in God's image, but we created God in our image. Like what a lot of people have described as their God has always been like the best looking, and you know what I mean, all the qualities that a person
Like an
has.
Anunnaki.
Yours.
Yeah.
Like the Anunnaki, dude.
Like an Anunnaki.
Demons.
Like my
Tabernacle.
mom, it was crazy. So my mom was a Wiccan high priestess, like my first 15 years of living, and all about, like, we worshipped the earth and the energies and shit. And then after some traumas, she found Jesus. Hey, you see what I did there? She found Jesus while she was gardening in the bushes, literally. Like, came
Just
to
like
her,
popped up or what?
popped up in her bushes while she was gardening.
He's all up. I'm Jesus.
My mom put down all
All
of
that
the
stuff?
the
All this-
craft, all of like the cards. My mom's super clairvoyant. She did tarot readings and shit like that. Like
Like
so
it was
good to the
specifically
point.
Jesus.
I don't know. She might have told me back then. I was on a lot of drugs back then, but
You're like, that's cool, Mom.
I was like,
Here, I'll
I was
meet you.
tripping because then she was like super Christian on steroids to this day. I love you, Mom, and I know you're gonna listen to this one day. And she also respects my idea that I think that Jesus and God and all that were all different beings. Was an alien. I'll tell her. I'll be like, Jesus was an alien.
He's
Is
a
what I
Palladian.
think.
Totally.
Palladian.
I think
always
I
thought
think it's
Jesus was an
definitely
alien.
possible.
Buddha too.
Well, but also I think that
Buddha,
the Bible is full of moral lessons more so than actual stories.
Like
I think
metaphors.
yeah, metaphors. And I think a lot of it was, you know, word for word, but I do not believe every single word of the Bible for being a fact.
No, exactly, and that's how I feel. I feel like
By
there's
the way,
just
I'm
stuff
not Christian.
that I don't understand, and that's the thing. That's what trips me out about like learning everything I have in the past few months. Is I went from like practicing magic and stuff when I was younger to completely saying fuck this shit, and then being Christian, and then all of a sudden all these things I'm learning about aliens, I'm like, whoa, because all these loose ends have
They're
came
being
together.
connected.
So like my Christian beliefs are backed up by my like spirituality, new age type beliefs, and it like trips me the fuck
I feel like
out.
spiritual crises like that and existential crises in general are like such a rite of passage, and that's how you know that.
Oh yeah. It's
I mean,
tests
that's
that you
a lot
pass.
of mental growth and
Yeah.
shit. A lot of the people that don't question it. It's like sometimes I think that I wish that I had the ignorance is bliss gene. You know what I mean?
There's a reason we don't
things
have
simple.
that. You know what I mean?
We wasn't meant for that.
We wasn't
life.
meant for that life. We wasn't meant to be basic. We out here being
no
woke.
basic bitches.
I
No
think-
basic bitches.
I think about that too. Like I see a bunch of people just fucking being like,
Like just floating
like
through
sheep in a
life.
herd. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
And then I'm like, you know
Sheeple.
what? You know
We call
what?
them sheeple.
I wish I never lifted the curtain because then I'd just be, floating.
And I just feel like crazy when I start talking
Yes.
about
Yeah.
these conversations to people. They're probably like, what the
And like convoluted.
drugs?
Yeah, exactly.
Took way too much acid.
Yes.
What's
but
wrong with that?
At the same
just kidding.
time, I'm starting to be like, you know what? Fuck you. If you can't handle it, then you're obviously at a point where you're not ready to hear it. If you're ready to hear it and what I'm saying like resonates with you in any way, cool. Maybe I planted a seed, but I'm starting to be like, fuck you. If you think I'm crazy, go for it. But
Yeah,
you
I
gotta
don't
hear
give a fuck
this
what
shit.
people
Just
think
wait
about
till
my
the
crazy
aliens
thoughts.
come.
I guess like bottom line is the message I would have for everybody is like everybody has their own journey and their own path and their own truth. But make sure you don't get caught up in what you think you should be based on everybody else. You
Facts,
need
yeah.
to do some soul searching and realize what's right for you instead of trying to do what's right for someone else and idolizing that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Question everything you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Stand up for what you believe in.
Always.
And we're also not knocking any of our Christian homies. Or at
No,
least
not
I'm
at all.
I'm not.
No,
Definitely
my
not.
families. So
I mean, basically, we all do have like 7 families. It'd be like that. You have the one you're born with, and then one you create.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then you have 2 sides of those families, like, your mom's side and your dad's side.
Yeah.
We got way off the rails here.
So we're talking about
Look at the clock. We're like, oh shit. Well, that's it, guys.
So join us next week.
Back on our bullshit. Hashtag.
Hey.
All right, so. All right. Can you tell us a little bit about these motherfuckers? Well, this motherfucker that you brought.
What are you
Me?
talking about?
Yeah,
oh,
B.
B.
B with the crystal.
This one. So this one is one of my newest. It's a cinnabar quartz, and I love it because it looks like blood, just
So
floating
we'll-
around in there. And I got it in Sedona. My trip to Sedona. It was
love
amazing.
Sedona.
I went to
I wanna go to
the first one.
Sedona.
It was crazy because my friend Bethany, she was like, "Where are we gonna go first? What's the plan? You're the one with the plan. Tell
like,
me."
I don't know what
and
we're doing.
I was like, "I'm not sure yet." And then like the day before we left, you know that weird like sleep where you're not awake yet but you're not sleeping,
Yeah.
like
Ooh,
these
that
thoughts are
dozy.
just going.
Yeah.
I like pictured us climbing to this little energy vortex spot in Boynton Canyon, and I like sat up. I was like, that's it. Like that, I knew like that was the first place we had to go, and it's one of my favorite ones out of all the energy vortexes. So that's where we went first, and the whole time my head has these tingles, those head tingles. You guys
Brain
ever feel
tingles?
those? Just on the top of my head, everywhere. And the rest of the night, it was like every so often I just get these intense tingles, and I sit there, I'm like,
Those are like chakra scrubbing bubbles.
Yes,
My mom and grandma
so
used to go to Sedona every year, like once a year, and they would call it to recharge their batteries. Like she'd go with the dowsing rods to find their own
Hell yeah.
vortexes and shit
That's
every year.
awesome.
I was like, that's a goal right
She had
there.
the dowsing rods.
Yeah, she'd make them and shit.
That's dope.
Like a little farmer.
That's dope. Yeah, they do look like farming tools, though.
Yeah, that's how they would find
Like-
water, where to dig the wells and shit.
What are you doing? Just looking for a spot to plant some corn.
Oh my god.
Some car,
Looking for the corn spirits.
Kern.
the corn.
The kern. Can the kern even grow out here in the desert?
I don't think so. I think that's a Midwest thing.
That's why we just have like dead ass corn maize fields that they use
Yeah,
for
they
Halloween
grow.
and shit.
Speaking of Halloween, did you see that what's that place? Bookaloo Farms is closed.
I don't know what the
yeah, I
fuck
don't
that
know what the
was.
fuck that
Say
is.
what
What?
again?
Okay.
Did you
the
say
pumpkin
Boogaloo
patch.
Farms?
Buckaloo. So it's that pumpkin patch
They're
where
going electric
everyone
now.
would go visit, like field trips, and like families go out there to go pick out their pumpkins in the pumpkin patch. It's closed now. What the fuck? We gotta go to Fry's and shit for a pumpkin. We don't get that experience of.
East Side Tucson bullshit, because I was just gonna say, I'm like, our pumpkin patch was Fry's at 22nd and Cole
I know.
in the cardboard box
It
in the
was-
produce section.
That's right. And some of them were fucked up because of the pressure from other pumpkins. They were like an inverted pumpkin.
Basketballs.
It'd be better
Inverted.
off to use as a candy bowl and shit.
Just set the candy on top. It's a candle holder and shit. No, but yeah, it was cool because it would be like a whole experience. You go out there in these fields, you're sweating because it's Tucson and it's still hot in the
It's like
fall.
98
October.
degrees on
So-
October 29th.
Yes. And then your pumpkin, you pick a pumpkin finally, and then you go weigh it and pay for it and stuff. So it's really cool because you get to like go through all these pumpkins in the field, and then you go home and you carve that bitch up so that it can look rotted the next day because it's Tucson, and you know it was a waste of
Well,
time.
you gotta buy
sides.
4.
I'm ready for fall. Fuck.
Right, I'm
Yo.
so excited.
It actually felt like fall at Kit Peak yesterday.
Did it?
Yeah, there was a nice breeze. I didn't go in the sun, so I couldn't tell you about that, except for when I was going to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
It was really pretty up there though, but they closed it early, like at 4 or 5 or something. Nobody's allowed to go up there after that.
That's when the observing starts.
Yeah,
Aliens.
That's
I
when
was about
the
to say
aliens come.
bobcats
I
or
bet you a
some
lot of
shit.
aliens
She's-
go to that fucking mountain, dude.
Aliens.
My head started feeling all crazy when we were driving up there because like the pressure and like the elevation and shit. I was like,
My tooth started hurting so bad. Because, you know, back there, all that shit's connected with your sinuses and whatnot. So, like, it was just a bunch of pressure.
That's
Tooth bone connected to the
Sinus
bone.
bone. Yeah, you got it, dude.
You know where the fuck I come from.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
it also felt like kind of creepy though.
It did. We were talking about skinwalkers and shit.
Shapeshifters.
Yeah.
Some
The
shit
kids
like
on the res that I grew up with used to fuck with me about that all the time.
that. Skinwalkers.
Yes, and they also
I thought
used
they
to tell
weren't
me
supposed to talk about them, though.
to. You got native friends, right, Nathan?
Yeah.
They talk about that
They
shit.
talk about that
They talk
shit.
about
They
that.
also told me because I was white when I drive onto the reservation that I had to go around the roundabout 3 times, like for permission. And then all the OGs would be on their porch with their 40s laughing their asses off, like, ah!
Because you did it 3 times.
Fuck yeah, I did. I was like, I just want to be respectful.
You're like, I don't want no shit.
You get respect, you get respect. That's, you know, you sometimes you got to go over a roundabout 3 times.
They used to call me Randy Two Feathers.
Randy Two Feathers.
Randy Two Feathers.
That's pretty dope. I like it.
Because I used to be able to drink like an Irishman. They liked that shit. I love my
yeah.
native homies.
They're hilarious.
Shout out
want a
Can
water?
Dance.
Hey.
No, I brought my own water in this fucking hydro
Oh, okay.
flask.
Big.
Available at Walmarts everywhere near you.
You're such a
And I'm
nurturer.
fucking mad that where were these when we were kids? Other than probably like in a Miller's Outpost in a little round canteen
We
style.
had plastic pieces of shit.
If I would have had this as a youngin' out here, I would have drank water way
the
more.
So much.
Because now I don't leave anywhere without it. It's like my new giant vape.
I would have won a lot more
It's always
fights,
on my
that's
hip.
for sure.
Oh my god.
That thing looks like you could whoop someone's fucking ass.
It's heavy as shit. Stays cold for like 9 years.
Yes.
Like 99.
I will leave mine in my car. It's like 100 degrees.
Yes.
The car is like melting at this point, but I'll pull that and it's still icy. I'm like, damn.
I need to get
Well,
me one
thank
of those.
you.
High tech.
Thank you for being cold.
Shout out Stacy Govin for taking care of me in my
What's up,
life.
Stace?
Aw.
Shout out. Hey.
The curls of these lashes.
These lashes.
What's your favorite song off my album?
That one.
It's Ashes, really?
Yeah. Ashes.
I was
I
on
don't
my
know. I
shit.
like the whole thing because it all bleeds into each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's everything.
I like the order that it like
I
went and it
don't-
flowed really good.
I could not pick a favorite because I
Yeah.
like that one. It depends because they're so different. Like it depends on how
Yeah.
I'm
Mood.
feeling, what I want to listen.
That was
to.
such an experimental
It was
EP
cool.
that I wrote during the graveyard sad boy hours. And sometimes it's hard to listen to, but I'll still always be proud of it because I did that shit.
Yeah.
I did that shit.
You should be proud of it. It's still one of my favorite albums that came out this year.
I love
Period.
you. Thank you.
Not even like on an underground
Period.
level.
Per
Punto.
And on the way to Sedona, I made
Punto.
Bethany listen to the whole thing because I showed her the East Side
Stop.
song.
Puta.
She's like, "Wow, she's really good." And then so I played the whole album, and I think her favorite song was oh my god, I can't even remember right now. I don't know. I'll tell you later though.
I can't pick a favorite
come back to
either.
me.
I think Ashes is Stacy's. Anytime
It's such
always,
a good smoking song, dude.
It is.
I don't smoke,
beat.
but like
So another count, let it up like.
Yeah.
it makes me want to smoke, and that's how I know it's a good smoking song.
yeah,
Burn
you'll
it up till it's
rarely smoke.
ashes.
Yeah, I know. I don't, whatever. I like to have conversations, even though I can barely carry one on when I'm sober. So
That's a fact. I was thinking about that. Do you see how slow it took me to catch on to that? I'm like, yeah, came back like mushrooms. The slowness.
So something I really like about your style in particular in rap is that you actually have respectable lyrics and content, and you're not rapping about the same things over and over again.
Dude, I really appreciate that. Somebody, who was it? The Emergency Flask Boys, Will Faze, Dirt, Ace, and Klein, they call me like a talented wordsmith.
You are.
Like, your lyrics are dope.
And
And,
every time
Beezy's reaction, everybody's reaction, so I really appreciate that.
Every time I hear you, you evolve a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You incorporate more mastery into your craft, and I appreciate it a lot, because there's a lot of these chicks out here, and I feel like they're being celebrated just for being females who are trying to do it.
Sex sales.
Well, it's a very like negative thing for that to happen,
Yes.
because I feel like in hip hop specifically, women have to work twice as hard in order to be respected by real MCs. As
Yeah,
opposed
that's
to
a
just
fact.
Or you're
being,
getting naked.
well, yeah, you can do it that way, but then you won't be respected for your talent.
No.
And people are just going to look at you like a hoe. So there's really two routes you can go being a female, and I appreciate that you're going the respectable route.
Have I told you about my Lord and Savior, Blimes and Gab, and V and Rachel?
Who? No,
Taught
I'm
me
just
how to
kidding.
be that bitch. Yeah, you have to. I feel like, hip hop nowadays is so drowned out by the trap beat or the catchiness or this fucking like 4-bar hook that you say 9 times during the
Yeah.
song and shit. And what I loved about hip hop growing up is what it made me feel and the story about it, and like being able to relate to the struggle.
Exactly.
You know what
it's
I
about
mean?
the struggle. It's about, telling your story.
And who can tell it the slickest and put the fucking
Yeah.
butter on it.
Ride that shit.
Dude, I love Blimes and Gab. They're so funny.
That's Mom and Dad. People say that me and Beezy are like the Walmart version of Blimes and Gab, and I am not even mad. I'll take it.
I wouldn't say the Walmart version, but like
Stacy
your
said
guys-
Target, and I was like,
You're
boo.
like step it up. No, but like the chemistry that like they have, like I see it with you guys too. You know what I mean? When
Yeah,
you
it's
guys make
true.
music together, and it like you guys just work really good together.
Me and Beezy's shit is destiny too, because when I found out that her old man was like my best friend in elementary school.
Are you
Donnie
serious?
Dar.
Yeah.
Yes, he saw
What?
the video we did on the Cypher for the Tucson Hip Hop Festival, and he was like, "Is her name Randy?"
What?
And busted out the yearbook and
Found
sure
you.
the fuck
Oh,
is.
yearbook.
Him and I had that conversation too when I was over there recording the East Side track, because he tripped. He's like, "Oh my God, is that Louis Segala you're talking about?" And I'm like,
Yup.
"Yup." And he knew like me talking about YPN and Louis. He's like, "Oh shit." So we had that whole East Side conversation. He found me in his yearbook and shit, elementary school.
Yeah.
That's cute that he still has them and shit.
I do too. I like went through mine and found him.
I hate y'all for that. I wish I had that shit. But seeing the pictures is hilarious.
Oh.
I look at those. I look at my pictures from when I was just a little fuck ass 3rd grader, Randy, and I was like, that bitch grew up to be a rapper. Like,
Weird. It's weird to me because I would have never thought I'd be rapping. When I was younger, I didn't even like rap music. So I'm like, why do I rap now?
You were always a poet, though.
I was.
You went from a poet to a
Now
floet.
she's a flowet.
Now she is a flowet. Plowet.
That's so
like
crazy
that.
how different everybody's story is.
Yeah.
Because, like, as far back as I can remember, I wanted to be a rapper. You know what I mean? Like, you brought that up, and I was trying to think about it. Like, what did I want to do before I wanted to be a rapper? And I think the very first thing that I ever wanted to be was a fucking Ghostbuster.
Hey,
And then I realized that, you know, that wasn't realistic.
I mean, really though, we have Zach on Ghost Adventures. You could have been a Ghostbuster.
Zach
Fuck
Bagans?
yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a proton pack. That's the main reason I
but
want to be a
that's what I'm saying.
Ghostbuster.
That douchebag can be hunting ghosts. You can be like hunting ghosts. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel you. I don't have
I
the...
love you, V. You're like,
the
she's like, you
scientific
could have
knowledge
been
to-
anything you wanted,
Anything
Nate.
you wanted to be. Anything.
Talking to my inner child.
Oh,
before
was smiling. I saw it.
before a Ghostbuster, I wanted to be a ninja.
Shit.
My brother wanted.
Three
I
little
wanted to,
ninjas.
too.
I
Dude,
wanted
yeah.
to be more specifically a Power Ranger.
I was gonna say that. Power Ranger.
See, and I just wonder if it was because my environment, but like ultimately, the very first thing I wanted to be in life was a Colombian drug lord.
Oh my god.
Like,
You know,
facts. I knew
aspirations.
that I wanted a blue convertible car, and I wanted a big old house in the foothills,
Oh
She's all, and I wanted a couple of Uzis.
and I wanted just packs buried in my backyard.
I can imagine like little you playing, like acting
Playing
out a card.
Yeah,
Randy
right.
Escobar.
You have like a
Oh,
fake.
yeah.
You have like a fake Pablo Escobar mustache. You're all, where's
Her
my
hair all
fucking
the way to
money?
the side.
She's all
Sitting
ordering her little stuffed animal goons to go like get rid of someone.
Go take care of him.
They didn't pay today. We need that fucking money. You guys gotta go extract it.
In the garden, little shovels.
It was crazy. When I went to prison when I was 19, and I got out. I was just about to turn 22. And learning as an adult, like what felt like being sober for the first time. Shout out my sobriety. I'm gonna be fucking 8 years sober September 21st.
Congratulations. That is the
Learning-
day after my birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll remember that forever. Learning all these things, like the way that I grew up in the trap, and like how extremely toxic and unhealthy all that was such a trip as an adult to like re-enter society and just a whole new life too, and to stick to it, being a good old tax-paying citizen.
Like, I pay taxes.
It's crazy,
now.
right?
I pay taxes now. I don't have my rights back. I can't vote, but you know, I kept a job and
You
my
got a job.
sobriety.
That's
I got a good job. I love my new job,
Yeah.
good.
my new day
good.
job, and my night job.
You got 2 jobs?
We don't sleep around here. When we ain't working, we working.
We don't get tired.
We don't
I'm just
get
kidding.
tired.
I'm
Kevin
fucking tired
Gates.
all the time. I'm almost 30. Why are you bullshitting?
Yeah, we like to have that mentality, but high key, we were just talking about who has the ibuprofen.
And not because we were drinking last
No,
night.
it's because my tooth hurts.
My tooth is hurting.
My tooth is hurting
I'm
me.
telling you that care credit. Get
What?
on it.
I'm gonna get it looked at
That's
by.
how you know we're adults. We're in here talking about fucking insurance on a podcast.
I mean, what can you talk about? When is the right time to talk about insurance?
We went
if
from
not on a podcast.
shitting with children in the woods to aliens to fucking healthcare.
Well, I mean,
This is
yeah.
gonna be my favorite fucking podcast. Thank you for having me on, by the way.
You're welcome.
I love you fuckers. I don't know who gave you permission to do this, but
Technically,
I'm here for it.
Technically, Mr. Ian did.
Shout out Ian,
But
because this place is dope.
This place is crazy dope. I
I
love it.
wanted to do a podcast for a while. I just
Yeah.
didn't know if I should or if it'd be entertaining.
Or you were talking about like a
Some kind of
show or
something. Like I wanted to do like viral shit on Instagram, and I realized that a minute is not long enough, and I'm too impatient to edit everything. You know what I mean?
forever.
I was like, maybe we should do a
Too much
podcast. And I was like, no, I shouldn't do a podcast. And she was like, we should do a podcast. And I was like, okay, let's do a
He
fucking
made that
podcast.
post, and I'm like, I'd be so down to co-host sometimes.
And then Ian commented on my status, and he was like, you should do it. Hit me up. And it kind of materialized. So
You spoke that shit into existence.
Yeah.
I was with my homie last night playing Pokemon Go downtown with this little girl, and I found $1 on the ground, and he's like, "What
Oh,
the hell?
fuck.
Where'd that come from?" I was like, "Manifestation. We manifesting out here." And his little girl like looked up at me. She's about to be 4. She looked up at me. I'm like, "Right, we manifesting out here." She's all, "Yeah." I'm like,
we manifested.
She knows what's up.
"Yeah."
Manifested.
I found $1. I was thirsty. I wanted some water, and it bought me a water. Like, I made that shit happen. Let me tell you. So
Sometimes I miss my hair for that shit. I'm fucking out here manifesting.
manifesting and shit in this bitch. Okay, so I have to go in like 5 minutes, but before I do,
What the
let's
fuck?
do some. I know, I got stuff to do. So I want to ask you a couple of questions. Okay.
Okay,
So
me?
first of all, yes.
All right.
So first of all, your shirt. Tell us about your shirt because it's dope as shit.
This shirt right here, Victoria.
Yes.
The oldest one is my favorite.
No, of course, dude. Sophie's the
Gangsta.
shit. I loved this show growing up. It reminded me of my grandma, and then I seen it say,
Dude,
it
same.
said Queens,
That's perfect.
and it just makes me radiate this big queen dick energy that I got.
I remember when I was younger, I used to have to watch that with my grandma when I got in trouble.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
damn. So it's
That's not much
associated
of a
with no fun.
punishment.
But I am a little boy, or I was a little boy.
I am a little boy.
And no, as I grew up, now it's like, it's special time I get to spend with my grandma to go over and watch Golden Girls with her.
That's right.
And just think about how I used to be in trouble and have to watch them talking shit to each other and being
They're
gross.
funny, dude.
It's,
Talk
I
about
feel
sacking
like
old men and shit.
a lot of this stuff we didn't like when we were younger, I can appreciate more now because I get the humor, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, damn. Even the stuff I was watching when I was younger, now that I'm adult, I'm like, why was I watching this stuff?
Yeah.
It was so inappropriate. So inappropriate.
Yeah.
But, I was into
Yeah.
Faces of Death as well. So
Same.
that's a fucking thing, I guess.
It's that morbid curiosity.
Yes, I loved it. Now I feel like it's harder to watch. And I think because life just hits you sometimes.
Well, a lot of those are recreations. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them it's way obvious.
Well, yeah, like the animal ones. Sorry.
I don't like the animal ones. Those are the only ones I didn't like. Okay, so the constant absorption of magical moonbeams mixed with the radioactive vegetables you consumed earlier have given you the ability to resurrect the dead. Famous person of your choice. Which late celebrity will you bring back to life and why? Been eating them moonbeams and radioactive veggies.
And I have the power to Lazarus, a celebrity of my choice.
celebrity.
It has to be a celebrity of my choice.
Hollywood Lazarus. Who's it going to be?
Damn, dude. And there's a lot of them that were taken from us.
A lot of good ones, and recently, too, huh?
Exactly. It's a tough one.
Mac Miller. I feel like the
Ooh,
artist
that's a
name.
good one.
Say him, dude.
I was going to say, I swear, if you don't say Selena.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
Damn, why'd you have to do that to me?
See, it's a catch-22. Can you only bring back one, or, like, is this a constant?
One.
That's it.
Don't get crazy here. Don't
Okay.
be asking the genie
Also-
for more genies
also,
and
though,
shit.
Also, I feel like, if it wasn't, it would be Mac in the studio, but also like Nipsey Hussle to pick his brain for 1,000 hours.
Oh, yeah.
That man, I resonate with that man's music and that self-made, and oh god, I love Nipsey.
This is the
Hussle.
thing that trips me out about Nipsey Hussle, because he was very insightful, but also a lot of his music was very violent.
Yeah.
Well,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, extremely
Comes
violent.
with
And
the
it's
environment.
It's
he was
crazy.
He was most definitely a product of his environment, but then like showed up, and built an empire in his hood, which I thought was super fucking. That's the goal right there.
It's crazy to see how violent somebody could be, but then turn it all the way around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that shit resonates with me.
Growth.
Do you think somebody just like who was like jealous of him and shit like killed him, or do you think it was like government shit?
all we can do is speculate, but there's a lot of evidence and like footage that they brought to light that does make it seem like it was an orchestrated hit by
A sloppy orchestrated hit.
and it makes it seem like it was local police that set it up. So I think it could have been local police because they didn't like the idea of somebody who came from an organization that they were trying to dismantle, bringing this kind of unity to a certain section of the city that they
They're
failed to
trying keep shit
unify.
divided.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That and he was exposing motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I feel like
Chester and Chris too, weren't they about to do some major?
that's another one that I was thinking about. Chester Bennington.
Yes.
That Linkin Park at that age on that east side of Tucson when they were in their prime with that fucking, what the fuck is that album called?
Meteora.
Was
Hybrid
it?
Theory.
Hybrid Theory. That was like the first band that made me like, that was music that was therapeutic to my angry, angsty teenage soul. That I cried. That was
too.
Yep, that was the first celebrity I cried over when
he passed.
we were at fucking caption call that day. You remember that bullshit?
remember.
I had to get off the phones and cry it out. I was like, whoa.
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
Fuck that shit.
We've lost a lot of people recently, and it really sucks. Like, all the good ones are dying off. Except for Betty White, she's still kicking.
Still
wood.
going.
Betty White's immortal, like Madonna.
So burpy
Do you
today.
think she is an Anunnaki?
No, she's too short. Sweet.
She's too short. Zeta Reticulin, let me tell you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
What the fuck did you even just say? Zeta Reticulin?
That's the name for alien grace because they come from the Zeta
Reticuli
Reticuli.
system.
Yeah, that.
The cluster of stars that is the Zeta Reticuli.
So they're the Zeta. That's their like
Constellation.
real name. We know them as alien grace, the big.
The
headed-
Greys, yeah.
But that's their real name.
Trauma's like, I
So,
swear to God, after this, I'm never talking to any of y'all again.
No,
Me and my-
I'm having like, I want to like microdose and have these conversations for hours.
We can. Let me tell you, this could go on for hours. So it's funny because like me and my homegirl, we have this like insult where like when someone's pissing us off, we're like they could just go suck a Zeta dick. It's like so it's like.
But that also sounds like you're referring to the cartel, too.
Like some gangland shit.
They can go suck a
the
zip that
Zetas,
dick.
The fucking they will chop your limbs off and leave you on display for the whole city and shit.
Oh, I hate you guys.
That kind of shit. I wonder if they are Zeta Reticulans and that's why their name is Zeta.
Could be arranged by the government, right? The DAs, the narcs, to fucking distract the masses, you know what I'm saying, from shit that's really going on. Because I bet if you stripped away a lot of these mass shootings and shit they distracted with in the media and really focus politically on what's going on, there's a bunch of shit that doesn't add up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A big mess.
Because a lot of them fucking mass shootings been happening. They're trying to get people to be like, oh, we don't need guns anymore. Take them away from us.
Yeah, we're relinquishing freedoms to feel safer, which is fucked up, man.
Take away the arms.
Take away the arms.
No, William Cooper talks about that shit
does.
too. How we're gonna be
Billiam
the ones
Cooper
to
again.
Billion.
like be like, oh, you know,
Billion.
have them taken away, or like I don't know how he worded it, but basically, yeah.
But
Damn you guys.
what did we do now?
What have we done?
You're
Why
gonna
have you done
you're
this?
gonna have me chilling. Why have you done this? You have me chilling all day,
Why have
like
you
having
done this?
another existential crisis shit.
She's gonna be at home googling Zeta Reticulans and shit.
Zeta-
Watch.
She's all. What is the correlation between Zeta Reticulans? Indubitably.
I go on a mission to find the cartel and shit. Just
Oh, yeah, good
Are you
luck.
working with the Zeta Reticulans?
Yeah, ask them in English too. They love that.
Oh yeah, right. Sounds like a great idea.
Is that where you got your drugs from?
I like that question.
Right?
Yeah.
It was cool. But it's funny because, like, we talked about musical celebrities. We didn't talk about, like, any other types of celebrities.
As
Like
far as an
Robin
actor, I
Williams.
think.
Like Robin.
Miss
Fucking-
Robin.
Ooh, I was gonna say
Williams.
Heath Ledger, but
Robin
Robin Williams is a better one. Okay.
Way better.
Oh my god. I
Robin
didn't even
Williams
answer the question.
outweighs. I love Heath Ledger, but Robin Williams outweighs. Heath Ledger on my moral.
But then comes
moral scale.
the moral dilemma of if we brought him back, would he even, be
Want
happy?
to be
Yeah,
back?
exactly. Like, he took himself out the game because there had to be a reason he did it. Like, he wasn't happy here, obviously, if we
Dude, when
brought
they
him
put out
back.
those pictures, I was like, that is so fucked up. I saw those and I was like, why do I have to see
They put out
this?
pictures?
What?
On his
Have you done
autopsy?
this?
Robin Williams? Why the fuck would, what?
I don't know.
That's terrible.
They do
Patch
have
Adams,
a lot
man.
of celebrities.
It was horrible.
Like Tupac's autopsy.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
The post-autopsy pictures where he's all stapled up.
It's sad. It's
No,
like
he
that
still
should be
could, I
kept
think.
private, dude. Like, they have families. Get the fuck out of
it's
here with
fucked
that
up.
shit.
It's really
You know
It's
how
the price you
reporters
pay when
be.
your life's not.
Private.
It's no
Private.
longer yours anymore when
Yeah.
you share it with the world. That's
true.
the biggest debate when it comes to being famous. That shit, you don't. The only way out is in a casket, basically, one way or the other. Whether they kill you or you kill yourself,
And
like
even-
that's the only way that you're ever getting some sort of a private life back.
Unless you're Eminem for some reason.
What?
You know that man is still suffering in a cave somewhere
Yeah, that's
with his
true.
sweatsuit.
Remember that line in that Dr. Dre song where he's all, until we grow beards, get weird and disappear? That's exactly what he fucking did, too. He grew a beard and he got fucking weird and went away.
Disappeared.
That's
And
why MGK opened up that song with fucking beard is weird.
Fucking weird beard
sense.
McGee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
His
let's do
weird
one last question from me before I leave.
Just go.
Is there any what?
I'm just kidding.
Get the fuck out.
I'm out. So, is there anything hanging in your room that motivates you?
Hanging in my room.
Like a vision board, or like a quote, or like a picture, or like a dollar bill on your wall that's helping you. You know what I'm saying? Anything in particular?
No, we just got this big ass tapestry. It's black and it's got like the prettiest sun
That's awesome.
and designs and shit on it. And it reminds like the whole house with back when my mom was in her witching hours. Like the whole house looked like that. And it takes me, every time I look at it, it takes me back to like, those days when I grew up in the slums, and then to see it in my house that I own with my wife and my little furry babies and the shit that I'm doing now, that shit motivates me
That's
all the
dope.
time.
That's really
Beautiful.
cool.
That was a good
That
question.
is beautiful.
Thank
Thank you.
Those are good questions.
Thanks. It's a good answer.
So just fucking go, V. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna miss
just-
you or anything.
You know what? Take your crystal and
My
get the
bad.
fuck out.
I
Oh
have
my god.
what?
Take your fucking swoop crystal and get the fuck out of here.
Ooh, Crystal.
You
Should I like it? Because it looks like it's
Shake
full of
you with my
That shit's
swoop.
sharp.
I know.
Watch
All
out.
crazy. Well, it's
Do it.
very
I could use the
healing.
energy.
It's got healing energies, and I like it because it looks like
Touch it
I
real
walked
quick.
in, she's all, touch my tower.
I'm like stroke my
You gonna
tower.
stroke this tower or what?
Nice.
Damn, it is pointy.
It's very pointy. I'm telling you, I will shake
It's a
someone
weapon.
and they'll go to hell.
Okay,
and
yeah,
suck
that's
on
fine.
a
I mean, I
Zeta
could use the
talking
energy.
Suck on the Zeta dick.
You wanna touch it?
Suck that Zeta.
Yeah, touch it.
It was a pleasure, Victoria V. Grits.
It was a pleasure having you on. I had so much fun, you guys.
Yeah, good luck coming back next week.
Oh
No,
my
I'm just
God.
kidding.
Stop being mean.
He's all, you're fired.
I'm totally kidding.
He just trumped you right now.
We
and
all know
said,
you
"You're
carry the
fired."
podcast.
Basically.
Shut up. My interesting
scoot.
questions.
We love you, stupid.
Just
Please
say
be
a little
careful.
I will. You guys have fun with the rest.
You have fun too. Be
And I give you
careful.
all hugs, but that would be weird.
It would take a while.
It would take a while.
Send you energy. Oh, I smacked
I'm
him.
sending you all my
I'm
energies.
smacking my-
Hug energies. Bye.
Late, son. Keep it gangsta.
Gangsta, gangsta, gangsta. Oh shit.
I love her so much.
Hey,
the mic
is.
I love
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like-
I was trying to move my chair.
Smack
I
me in
love
the
that
face with
she's
the
so
mic.
fucking
Sorry.
hardcore
My
in,
bad.
in some of her music, and then when you get to know her,
She's like the sweetest person
Yeah.
you'd ever meet. Next to this one. So,
that one,
yeah, this one right here.
that one, right
Because she'll shank you, but then she'll come home and cook dinner too. She'll be like, "Have you eaten today? Because you need to eat now."
there. Sour Patch Kids.
Exactly
Yeah.
like that too.
Yeah, I cut a throat today, but eat.
That's my wife too.
What? No, I'm just kidding. But you know what though? Fuck Cardi B.
Why do you say that? We've had this conversation before.
What?
Why do you hate her so much?
No, let me ask you this. Why do you like her so much?
I don't know. I guess her inner ratchet resonates with my inner ratchet, and I mean, like, that's a hood ass,
And I can respect that.
unprofessional ass.
But that's also the thing, though, is because I feel like the way that she's representing women MCs is very damaging to women MCs. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Also, I'm that type of person that's like, I don't think any one artist represents any other artist. Like I think we're so far
You represent
into
yourself.
genres and music and shit that now, that like every artist is different and every artist is not gonna be liked. And I also feel like that's what makes it so easy for me to create content as well. Like with my music, I know not everybody's gonna like my music, and I'm totally okay with that. And I feel like that's what took away the like my fear of doing it in the first place, because I was scared. I'm white, I'm gay,
You're white?
I'm dykey. I know, I get that reaction all the time. I'm rice skinned, but you know, I was really scared. But then when I realized that I don't like all the musics. Not everybody's gonna like my music, and that's okay.
I think it's important to like understand and accept that as like an artist. You know what I mean? I feel like people who are trying to like they care so much, like, oh, I want everybody to like my shit. It's like they're not being true to themselves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they make all this other like filler music shit
And
just to like gain fans or
That's
like,
a
shit.
matter of fact. But like,
I think Cardigan Bakri of the Cardi B persuasion, I think she's true to her wild hood bad bitch energy self, and I think that she had a lot of money and promo put into, I mean, because that's what it takes to spread your music. It's like you pay all these people to put your music out there.
and you're not wrong. Like, being true to yourself is you know.
Why do you hate her?
The reason that I wouldn't say hate, but I don't respect what she's doing is because, like, it would be one thing if she had, you know, songs that were her being ratchet, and then, you know, it was a wide spectrum. And I know that she does have some songs that are gushier than others or whatever. But also, she is on a huge platform. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And every song that they advertise is some ratchet shit. And you got to remember who's looking up to her on that platform.
I totally know what you
saying?
mean.
And
Yeah.
I don't appreciate, like, I already have a problem with women, you know, not respecting themselves, being moralists, and being brought up in a society that glamorizes sex and making them feel like if they're not doing something sexual, then nobody will like them.
That's
You
so
know what I mean?
sad. And
It
it's
is,
like-
but it's something that's happening, and I
You're
just don't
right.
respect
I feel
her for that.
it's it's always the people who have the biggest platform that don't necessarily use it in the
best way.
best way, because they have the world's eyes on them and shit. And so I totally see what you're saying.
And, like, you know, like, I respect her for how hard she probably had to work to get where she is, which I guess if you're talking to, you know, depending on who you're talking to, that's debatable as far as what she had to do. I know what it looks like she had to do to get where she is from her persona that she puts off. But also another interesting tidbit that I'd like to bring up is the fact that as a person, I do kind of respect her, because I've seen a couple. I used to not be able to stand the way she talks. You know what I'm saying? Just
How you doing?
Okay.
Okay.
You know, like, what are you, a fucking... She's like a drunken who, you know?
Oh my fuck.
Oh my fuck is right.
She kind of looks like a little who, huh?
I fucking love Cardi B.
But then
I'll always love her.
I listened to her talking ironically about female MCs, and she was putting up, like, she didn't use that to hype herself up. She used it to hype up MCs that are actually MCing, you know what I mean? Like, that are respectable. And also, I watched her handle the beef she had with Tommy Lauren, I think it was.
Who's that?
She's like a political woman.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't fucking like that bitch.
And she handled that very well. So I do respect her for her political views and, like, as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But her persona that I see her putting out, I don't respect at all. I can't stand her music.
Yeah. That's a I feel like, I don't know, that's the sympathizer and the empath in me, though. I'm always like, everybody has their own style, their own craft, and some of them also follow the masses. But yeah, I would agree. It's hard. It's way harder for females to get the respect, let alone what I've noticed from, my favorite female artists like Blimes and Gab.
Right.
And, they've been doing this for years, putting out quality content. Like, no bullshit.
Like real MC shit.
Real MC shit.
To the point where she got on that track with Method Man, right?
Yeah.
That's a huge accomplishment for...
Oh yeah, and Method Man, like...
When was the last
he
time you
was
heard
the one
Method
who
Man on that
insinuated
track?
that shit, too.
He's like,
I'm in
work
town.
with you.
Yep.
Like, I want to get on a track with Method Man. You know what I'm saying? Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm
Every
pretty
day.
sure a lot of people do.
But
Right?
that's the
Method
difference
Man.
between a real MC and somebody who's using their body to get ahead.
Yeah.
You understand? Like what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like a patsy persona
Yeah.
of the Anunnaks.
We're gonna call them that like forever now.
The Anunnaks. When the Anunnaks. Who the fuck's Anna?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Who the fuck is she?
She's Naki.
You know, in that fucking TV show V, it's like about like aliens. Have you ever seen it? Well, it used to, it was called V. It's like an old show from like the 80s, and then they remade it like I think in like 2010 or something. They made a remake of it, and it's like basically like these aliens come and they're like reptilians, but they look like us, like they're wearing like human
meat suits.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, like Men
but
in
they're like
Black.
reptilians, and the bitch who's like in charge, her name is Anna.
Oh.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But they're like
That's pretty dope.
reptilians, and like they make the humans think that they're like here to help, and they have like this weird program, and like basically they're just trying to take over our fucking planet, and
Hoes.
yeah,
Fucking
Just
hoes,
exposing.
man. It's demons.
They're just
basically.
exposing the reptilian overlords.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
So,
it's a good show though.
do you guys want to talk about chicken sandwiches?
I mean,
Fuck
like
yeah! I mean,
chicken
when do we not
sandwiches.
want to talk about chicken sandwiches? You're fucking with a retired chef. What's up? What you want to know?
Have you tried the Popeyes chicken sandwich?
This is a sad subject for me because when we were shooting the wig split video, Sunny motherfucking Houston and Shayna Banana brought me one of them fictitious Popeyes chicken sandwiches.
Fictitious?
Right? Like this mythical internet creature
Oh,
you hear
okay.
of that people fucking
I thought you meant like
fight
they made
for.
it and tried to pass it off as a Popeyes chicken
No,
sandwich.
they brought an actual Popeyes chicken sandwich.
So what'd you think of it? It was bomb as fuck, huh?
I didn't fucking try it because he was like, I actually brought two. He's like, so I was like, okay, Stacy, you eat that one.
What
but
did
then
Stacy think of it?
Stacy said it was bomb as fuck, and I've wanted one ever since. But I'm back
It's
on my
so
stupid
good.
low carb bullshit. So
You
Can't
could
go
still
get one.
you could
Yeah,
still
take
eat
care
the
of your
chicken and the
body.
pickles.
What?
You can still eat the chicken and the pickles.
stop it.
Not the same though.
It's not the same. It's not the
It
same.
was
without the
really
bun.
good.
Did you have
Well,
it?
yeah, I did. And then I went to go get us some, and they were out of it.
Yeah.
And like I
haven't
didn't
tried
really
it.
feel like waving a gun around because they were out of it. You know what I mean? So I just let it be. And we went and got some Wendy's, which I was super pissed off about.
Yeah,
You
it was
remember how
not
mad
good.
I was?
It was not good.
I was
Wendy's
pissed.
sucked.
I see
So
why they
one
wave
day,
guns
I'm gonna
around.
get that chicken sandwich. I'm going to.
It's bomb,
Me
dude.
too. One day.
I'd wait a month though. And who is it that they're? Oh yeah, Chick-fil-A. Way better than Chick-fil-A. I will say that.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-a-filla is what I call it.
I hate Chick-fil-A. You would call it Chick-fil-A. I hate that I like Chick-fil-A because they're like,
Oh, and you can get them on
Homophobic as
Sundays at
fuck.
Popeyes.
you can get what?
You can get the chicken sandwiches on Sundays at Popeyes.
Oh yeah, you can get chicken from Chick-a-fil on Sundays.
No, you can't get shit from Chick-fil-A on Sundays.
Dude, for a
Except some
second I thought you
homophobia.
meant like on like Sundays, like on a ice cream sundae. And I was like,
That'd be weird.
I mean, I'd fucking try it because I love the meats and the sweets.
The meats and the sweets.
Dude, I love me the chicken and waffles or like peanut butter
Ooh,
on a
yeah.
burger and shit.
What?
That shit
Bacon and
actually
syrup,
is
the
good.
meats and the sweets, the savory sweet combination is the best party my mouth has ever had.
Yeah.
And I'm always down to try weird shit.
I know the first time I was introduced to a peanut butter on a burger, I was working at this place called Cappy's on Golf Links in Harrison,
Fuck.
and they had one of those, and I was making them one day because I was like reading the recipe sheet. I was like, what the fuck do they have me doing in here? I was like, let me try one of these. I made one for myself. I was like, fuck.
Fire.
It's so good.
I want to
It's
try that.
sinfully bomb. Go to Lindy's, get the blue suede cow. It's like pepper jack, cheese, and peanut butter, and fucking it's.
It sounds
phenomenal.
like it'd be.
You
it'd
can,
give
like-
you a big poop.
You could upgrade it and put it in between 2 peanut butter and jelly
Take a
sandwiches.
shit in the woods.
What? That sounds intense. I don't know if my stomach can handle that.
Yeah.
I'm old. I'm old. Sensitive ass tummy.
I'm the one with
real.
the white stomach, too.
White.
Yeah.
White.
Cool.
Fucking
Get
white.
sensitive to different stuff, though. I think
Yeah. I think I had an ulcer for a while.
that's scary.
Yeah.
Stress induced like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Me
dude,
too.
it wasn't good. I think I'm better now, though.
Me too.
I mean, I don't want to get into too many details because it's gross.
Caca.
But I think I'm better now.
Good.
Good.
Except for this tooth.
Get your fucking teeth fixed. Yo, tooth.
I am. I'm going to talk with a doctor that is coming. He's making a special trip for her papa. And I'm going to have him look at my shit. But the thing is, since I'm doing this tour, I don't know when I'm going to have a time for recovery if I get it pulled.
Hashtag starving
It
artist.
shouldn't take that long. Have you ever gotten like a tooth extracted?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
How long would you say it took, like, to heal and you be able to, like, kind of like talk normal or like, you know?
I mean, you could talk normal. I would say probably like 2-3 days.
Guys, it's not that long, huh?
So if I get it done on like a Monday, I should be good to go by a
yeah,
Friday or
fuck
a
yeah, that's
what
Saturday.
I'm
Have
saying,
you
like-
never had an adult tooth pulled?
No, I haven't been
Good boy.
to the dentist in a long time.
Oh, not a good boy. Go to the fucking
I
dentist.
haven't had insurance. The denti.
Go to the dentist.
I need to see a
I hadn't
denti.
went to the dentist in like forever, and then when I started going again, I had to get so much work done, and I was like, why did I
same.
do this to myself? And like now, I'm gonna have to go to the dentist again because I
I
haven't went
fucking
like in a
hate
year.
the dentist, but I love my dentist.
My dentist is cool.
My dentist doesn't exist, so
Well, this dude can
He
be your new
exists. You
dentist.
just need to go find him or her.
That
I mean,
dude's a
we're
pretty-
at the
oh
raise
my
room.
god.
I could fucking
Yeah,
break
just-
your teeth out for
My
Well,
you.
the
dad
thing
got
is-
some like teeth put in, like I don't know what, like these
Like an
bottom ones.
implant, yeah.
Yeah, like an implant, and like it was like a couple days, and he had just gotten them done, dude. And my fucking daughter gave him a fucking Tootsie Roll.
Oh,
he
this story.
He fucking put it in. And it fucking yanked his teeth out. So he pulls out the Tootsie Roll and his teeth are stuck in there. So the dentist had to come back and redo it, but it was so funny. I died
you
laughing.
should have drew
that
little
whole time.
dots on the teeth so it looks like eyes on the Tootsie Roll.
It was so funny though. It's like, oh my god, why did he take that from her? Oh, I died. I was like, oh my god, dude, of course.
How the
That shit's
fuck
so
did you
funny.
think of that quick? That was hilarious. You should put dots on it so it looks like there's little eyes on the
Because
tootsie.
it'd just be 2 eyes and a smile because it's a Tootsie Roll.
Well, it's just like these two bottom teeth, but it's just funny. I just
I
imagine.
fucking can't stand either.
Because she doesn't like chocolate, so I think she opened it and she's like, ugh, I don't like this. It's chocolate
Leah
here.
Bia doesn't like chocolate.
No, she hates
she
it.
hates
It's the
chocolate.
bane of her existence.
Stop. I
Yeah.
don't think we can even be fucking friends anymore. Do not bring your kids around me.
Sure, her shit is strawberry. Strawberry,
Yeah, strawberry
anything.
everything.
You like, you got some chocolate? Do you got strawberries? Like,
Or
no,
like
there's
I'll
no
ask her if I have
strawberry.
chocolate, be like, you want some? She'd be like, ugh, no, it's disgusting. You know I don't like
She gets
chocolate.
so fucking mad,
She gets all
dude.
offended because I ask her, but I just do it because it's funny, you know? 'Cause it's like I know she's gonna say no, but she's just like, ugh. It's so
She's
funny.
just fucking disgusted with you. Like, how dare you, woman?
She talks shit about other kids at the dentist.
Stop.
She's funny. No,
I
I wasn't at the
fucking love your
dentist.
kid, but
No,
we
we
can't
went.
be
I
friends
took
no
her
more.
to the doctor. Was it yesterday?
It was
the
earlier
day
this week.
before. It was on Friday. I took her to the doctor, and there was this little. She was waving at all the little kids coming out of the doctor's office, and she waves to this little girl, and this little girl's like, "I had to get a shot. I was scared." And then later on, that little girl's like crying because she doesn't want to leave. And then they take off, and Aaliyah's sitting there, and she looks at me, and she's like, she needs a nap. She's grumpy, huh? And this lady in the fucking waiting room just starts busting up laughing. I was like, oh my god, she's so funny.
And then that baby, she was.
Oh, there was this
Pissed
baby
off
like
about.
making noise, like little goo goo gaga noises, and Aaliyah looks over at me. She's all annoying, and I was like, are you serious? And
She
she's all
told me-
looking at the baby. She's all shh. And I was like, oh my God, dude. I was like, see, you can't have a little brother or sister. You can't even handle that. And she's like, well, it's different.
She's a gangster, dude. She hit a kid in the face because she fell down. It wasn't even the kid's fault. She just hit the kid in the face because she was pissed about it, and he happened to be there. She was like, you know what, motherfucker, come here. I'm pissed. Come here.
Yeah, she got in trouble for that. But she's getting ready to go to school soon, so I'm trying to, like, teach her, like,
to, like, civilize her?
Yeah, I'm like, you want people to be nice to you, you gotta be nice to people. You can't be hitting people when you're mad or be like, she's got temper problems, so we're working on it.
She told her, fuck that. She looked her right in the eyes, and she was like, fuck that.
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't, but it would be something else.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just laughing. I'm like, yeah, it sounds like her.
She's pretty G. She doesn't really give no fucks, though. But I'm trying to teach her, like, keep your hands to yourself. You gotta be nice, before you go to school.
Say polite things.
I'm scared for her to go to school. I don't like other kids.
I don't like
Well, it's not that I don't like
she don't like other kids.
Yeah,
No,
she
she's
shares
pretty
that
friendly,
sentiment.
but, like, I don't know. When she gets mad, it's just bad, So,
Yeah.
we got a lot of stuff to work on.
She's either gonna learn now or she's gonna learn the hard way. You know what I mean?
Well, I want her to learn now, because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when are we gonna do a track, dude?
When are we ever gonna finish our tracks in the makings?
I don't know. A bunch of
That's the
shit.
shitty thing that I hate about making music is I have so many songs that are like either unfinished or unrecorded. I just have so much music in the vault.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I still got to do the last 2 tracks for my album, which, for a while there I didn't have any time to write at all. And now I just feel like since there was so much shit going on, I'm kind of at a point where I don't know. But as soon as I get that shit busted out, we're going to do that track.
Yeah, hit me up, fool.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I'm available. And wanting to... I am in the works of making my, like, Trauma and the Misfit Toys mixtape with, like, Trauma and Friends. I want to collab.
Sounds cute.
Yeah, dude, I want a collab mixtape of all my homies, so...
I dig it.
Come dip your chip in this dip.
I want to be on 2 tracks.
You got you. I got you.
I got me.
You got me?
I got you if I got me.
You.
I got me. Tama got me.
Ooh, on a Beezy beat?
On a Beezy beat, though.
She'll never watch this. She's a mom. She's busy.
No, she might. Like
Yeah,
in a
she
car,
might. Only
listen
because it's
to
me.
it. Well, because you can listen to it
And
too.
she
It's
loves
like,
you guys. She's been wanting to do that. She's like a DJ Khaled. When she makes beats or when she finds like her artists that she likes, she's always like, I want them in here, and wants to make it happen. She makes a beat and she like hears who she wants on it and shit.
That's dope.
She's a mastermind.
We're gonna try to get her for the podcast coming up here in a
Oh
few
yeah,
weeks.
please.
I
I
don't-
need that.
Yeah,
I need
that
an
would be
Our
dope.
Turn episode.
Hell yeah, dude, I'm so with it.
Easy beats.
I'm excited to see, like, who our, like, other guests will be in the future,
I have a request.
Who?
Okay.
I want you to get Jamal Ari on the show because I could listen to him talk forever too.
Jamal who?
Jamal Ari?
Who's that?
You haven't
One
heard
of the
of Jamal
baddest
Ari?
motherfuckers of all time.
He's dope. He's dope.
I haven't.
He's been grinding for a
He's
minute.
my little like male Pisces kindred spirit. And he's such a sensei. I love listening to him talk. I soak him up every time he opens
Does he, like, make
his mouth.
music or, like...
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm gonna link you up. You know what, Rita? First of all, this bitch is high key the reason why I got into the local hip hop scene. Hands down, because we used to like send each other songs at work, and then she was like, "Have you ever heard of this fool? He's dope." And she sent me the Tommy Well local rapper video, and I was so that's why I talk about Tomothy Williams all the time, because him and V,
He was like your inspiration.
they were like the gate that opened the floodgates of this big, beautiful, fucked up local hip hop community out here. And it made me do like a crazy swan dive, because that's something that's always been a hidden talent of mine. Like,
Yeah,
I used
dude.
to freestyle with the homies.
You know, it's no joke to not having any material out, and then like the first year you do a music, you headline a festival. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Yeah.
big achievement. So
You've
I hope
been,
you're
like,
still patting
taking
yourself on the
big
I
back.
hit the ground running. Yeah,
I haven't
heavy.
even
That's a
headlined
big,
that festival.
It was that was a big thank you to Benny Loke. Like
Shout out Benny Loke.
Shout out Benny Loke. When he
Hey.
he found my knockdown video on Facebook, and it made him do a swan dive on my shit, and he hit me up and was like, "You're one of the best artists in Arizona that I've seen, and I would love to work with you." And I was so fucking honored, you know what I mean? I was like, so he really did the damn thing, and I feel like I owe a huge part of my, like, making big Momma Trahma a thing. I owe a huge part of that to Benny Loke, because he told the world about me
That's fucking dope.
and got me out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He believed in you.
He did believe
He
in
did
you.
believe in I. So yeah, and I fucking
That's who I work with is Benjamin Locust.
Benjamin
Benethy.
Locust.
Benethy.
Benethy. Shout out
Benethy
to UG
Williams.
Tribe.
Benethy and Dockerton.
Yeah. Benethy and Dockerton.
Pretty much. But she sent it, that was a wrap. Then she started showing me all kinds of other people. She showed me V shit, and I was like, this is something I want to be a part of. And here I am, just
You know what else is
pouring
crazy?
myself out in the hip hop community.
Before I started like hanging out with V and her together, I don't think she'd ever heard any of my music.
Not really, but we would be like at the same shows a lot too. It's weird.
I remember I bought your mixtape off Top.
Yeah, I remember
That
that.
Monstrosity album. I was like, I need that.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it right there.
Shout out Ro Pie.
Shout out Ro Pie. I'm gonna have him on the show too.
You will. You better.
I will.
I liked Dang a lot. Dang was probably
And I'd
my
just
favorite.
be like, dang. My favorite was rolling through the city, windows
Dang and
down,
Hoodies
with them
is probably-
hoodies up.
Probably
Yeah, that
my
sounds
two
pretty
favorite
good.
on there.
But I don't, we're not here to talk about my accomplishments.
Yeah, but it
Oh,
came
I
up in the
guess not.
conversation. No.
I guess not.
that EP was pretty rushed and thrown together.
I feel like
We
so
did
was
it.
mine.
We did it in a matter of like 2 months. You know what I'm saying? You feel like yours was too, but yours sounds way better than this piece of shit right
I
here.
rushed myself because I gave myself this
Like a deadline.
I gave myself like a 3.5, 4 month deadline. Yeah, like I started writing in January. I had all of my songs written by like mid-February. I had all the shit, most of them recorded by April. And I, because I was very much like, when I record myself, I have to like one up. I'll do maybe 2-3 takes, and I'll listen to the first one, and that's never the one. The first one's never the one. The first
like
one's
the
always a
warm-up.
practice, and I'll
if you
play
think
that
the
back.
first one is the one, you need to not think
If you're
that.
the
Redo it.
first one is the one, and like don't mix and master your shit type artist, then
At that point, if you're doing it for the listener, then you need to let whoever's your engineer tell you, if you do it again, which one is going to be the best.
so I turn that shit down, and I always have to like one up myself on that too. But then I realize after, I record, I get to know my song and how I want it to sound better after it's recorded. And I feel like when I listen to my shit afterwards and I outshine, I'm like, damn, I wish I would have done it like this. So that's what I'm experimenting with my recordings with these days. It's like I get it recorded, and then I master that shit, and then I go back in there and do the final draft.
But the opposite could happen. You could have a mix of something that you really like, and then you go back to record it so it'll match the quality of like the other songs surrounding it,
Exactly.
and then you won't like it as much. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And you're like, man, I wish I could just go with the first version of this shit. That's happened to me on several occasions.
Several occasions.
Like actually with Hoodies on this one, that happened.
Really?
Yeah, we recorded the second verse, or the second version, I mean, and I didn't like the way my voice was. It sounded real nasally. And I don't know if that's just the way that I talk, but it sounded like I had a cold. I'm all, "It's a little low, up a little low." You know what I'm saying? It sound like fucking White Biggie.
Oh my god.
I love it. I love that whole ass mixtape album.
I appreciate it. I hope my new one's all right.
I hope mine is too.
Yours is gonna be fire as fuck either way. There's like, you reach this point where there's no turning back. You just loose sleeve now is fucking popping. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking pop.
I feel that.
You could characterize a rhyme and make it into a pop. It's so popping.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying?
I've been tapped in. I freestyle. I have a long ass drive to work, and every day I just play a beat tape and I freestyle with like my voice memos on, and then I go home and I listen back and I stitch it, and I'm like, damn, I can't believe I said that shit. Like that was good. Dude.
Yeah, I don't really freestyle too much.
No?
I can do it without a beat, but the beat, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, when I write, the beat fucks me up. Like I have to listen to a beat and then start writing after I like find what my cadence is gonna be like and shit. But that's the same thing. Sometimes when I'm writing, the beat really fucks me up.
Yeah.
Shut it off. I can't work like this.
It's just a hurdle. I feel like, you know, a lot of artists have to get over to be more well-rounded. It's something I got to work on, definitely. I used to be really good at freestyling, and then, like, I just wasn't into it anymore. You know what I mean? I was like, well, fuck it, I'm a writer. But then that painted me into a corner because now I'm not as well-rounded as I'd like to be.
Right.
So I got to fucking push that a little bit.
Come sit in a hip-hop Burkle one day. BZ likes to play this game where she'll, like, give you a word. And I love that
I can
shit.
do that.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Give you a word?
Right now, no.
No,
No, it's not going to happen right now.
I'm all, you see me get all excited? I'm all, give you a word?
Maybe next time, though. Maybe
Is that
that
a
could be like a
cipher?
recurring segment where we can do ciphers.
Okay. I'm not that
Please.
good at freestyling. I have done sometimes, like when we be driving around, but I'm not really good at freestyling at all.
Well, I mean, it's a matter of practice.
Yeah. I got slow thoughts sometimes. I can't think of shit right away.
Practice makes
Your
perfect.
stoner brain.
Is that a
I don't really
reticulans?
smoke that much anymore, though.
No.
No.
Hey.
Sometimes. What? Oh.
That's all bang,
Yeah,
bang.
it's gonna be in the mic. It's all clack, clack, clack.
I just
clack,
cracked
clack.
my knuckles in the mic. My bad.
I've been burping into the mic the whole time. Just all.
I've been coughing
I
because
took
my
a shit
ass
in the
can't
woods.
quit
Blah.
vaping. Stacy and BZ are on a mission to help me
Stop
hate
vaping.
myself about vaping. Yeah,
But I mean, it's so much better than smoking.
it is. But people are dying from the shit.
Yeah, but they're dying from the e-juice, and not so much these, because in the e-juice, in order to make other flavors, they put vitamin E in it that goes in lotions and shit, and it ends up coating the lungs and making them unable to operate properly.
Listen,
I'm listening.
I just don't want to vape anymore.
That's fine. You do you. You know what I'm saying?
I went from like went from heroin to cigarettes to vape. Just vice to vice.
You shouldn't go from like heroin to like crack to like meth or speed.
Oh no, that was the game before the heroin. I was wholeheartedly on my mission when I was dreaming of being that Colombian drug lord. After that first hard drug I did, I was on a mission to find my favorite drug. And then when I got to that tippity top of the heron, that shit was like, it's like you push a button and you don't feel anything emotionally
Dang.
and physically, depending on the quantity. But fuck that shit. Everybody's
Yeah.
dying off that too. I have this list, this huge fucking list of homies every year, like I say, and I rap about it a lot too.
I know.
That's sad though.
That is sad.
I don't know. I feel like people need to take a lot better care of others emotionally, because I don't know. I feel like a lot of the media is run by sociopathic people, and they don't really consider anybody else but themselves, and it's like a trickle down effect. So then everybody in your day-to-day life gives zero fucks about how you're doing, and it's especially in America. And I just think that we all need like a Dr. Phil session, like a national broadcast Dr.
Oh yeah,
Phil
if there was
session.
more cognitive therapy than drugs being pushed.
Yeah.
Oh,
And yeah, it does become a pharmaceutical issue too, and
we're such hippie babies. We're like, the world needs more love,
it
more
does.
thugs,
It
and
does.
more drugs.
Like for real though.
Less drugs.
So at this point, we're gonna have to wind down.
I know, it's time.
We've reached
It
the
went
end
by
of our
really
journey.
fast, but it was really good. I'm glad you came. You're
Yeah,
like our
thank you for
first
having me.
guest.
You are our first guest, so
Anytime.
thank you for coming. I look forward to your next project.
I look forward to your fucking project.
It's
I
really
appreciate
good.
it.
It's
we'll
stupid.
see.
It's
We'll
really
see.
good.
It's
But
ridiculous.
for all of us here at the V3 podcast, you have a good day,
V
and we
number
thank you
right here.
for tuning in.
Bye.
Deuces.
She ain't worth the night.